3-2. There's not much else that I can say apart from that. 3-2. Madrid lost. There's not many excuses that you can say. Barcelona, at the end of the day, they looked like the better team. However, we were under severe different injuries, lack of players. There's a multitude of things that happened. But my gosh, am I furious about the last, 30 minutes of that match. It was an embarrassing performance in those last 30 minutes. But first, let's go ahead and go over the first, 60 minutes of the match. I think we played quite well. I think Xabi Alonso set us up pretty well. I know counter-attacking football, it was horrendous, right? It was basically park the bus against this Barcelona team. But as I said, you got to understand the situation that we're in. We had one day less to play against this Barcelona. Barcelona came in beating Athletic Bilbao 5-0 and basically were able to rest a lot of the players, not taking that seriously, while we came in from a hard-ruling Atletico Madrid game where we ended up winning, but it was a really, really tough game. But as I said, for those 60 minutes, I was quite happy with the way that we were able to win. To play. The first goal, I think it was a lapse of judgment of Dean Huijsen, completely leaves open in the middle. Tchouaméni, of course, it was behind him, but Dean Huijsen was literally in front of him. Does not catch on to that, and I believe Rafinha was the one that scored that goal. Or no, that was Lewandowski. That was the second goal. Sorry, the first goal from Rafinha, it was a mistake by Rodrigo in the midfield, just gives the ball away. And boom, Rafinha scores 1-0. We were able to get that goal back with an incredible run by Vinicius Jr., who played a pretty good game. And on top, and then after that Lewandowski goal, we were able to get one last goal to make it 2-2. A header from Dean Huijsen cracks off the bar. Lands on Gonzalo Garcia, gets it into the back of the net. 2-2. I think that first half we played quite well as we could with this team, with the situation that we're in. As I said, Xabi Alonso, I think he set us up well for the first half. However, in that second half, once again, started quite tough. Vinicius Jr. kept playing quite well, driving Koundé crazy, absolutely running circles around him. But then we hit a wall. And of course, it's probably because of how tired our team was. Valverde was able to had to come out from the and had to ask for a substitution. We are tired. The team's absolutely fatigued, and we're not playing anywhere near defensively well as we were. And eventually, boom, we end up conceding 3-2. Rafinha scores, and from then on, it just looks like we're winning the whole time. We're not putting any type of pressure. As I said, we're tired. I get it. Madrid is very tired. They're humans at the end of the day. But, that's where you expect to get some subs in, get some energy pumping. And the game wasn't gone still. You could put in a lot of players in, maybe an Mbappe, see what that could do. But the game wasn't over yet. So yeah, there goes Gonzalo Garcia comes out. Mbappe comes in from an injury that he had. I think he's still injured, and both Vinny and Mbappe, they can't play together. That bit of time that Mbappe and Vinny were on the same pitch, I don't think any of them got the ball. It was horrendous to watch them play together. First of all, both of them refused to defend, refused to press. And the reality is that although Vinny played a good game and everything, if Mbappe's on the pitch, you have to make up for his work, for his defensive duties. And Mbappe, I don't know what, I get it, Ronaldo didn't press or whatever, and there's some players, but look at the state of this team, man. We're not in a position where you can expect or forgive Mbappe for not pressing, for not defending. And yes, he comes from an injury, but he said he was ready to play. That means when you're ready to play, that involves you being willing to make the sacrifices, being willing to run back, to track back. And he did it once against Lamine Yamal. Once. And other than that, he did not do that. Eventually, Vinny comes out. I think you got to take out Mbappe for Vinny. You cannot do that. And Gonzalo Garcia was also tired, but that's where a player like Endrick would have fit perfectly. An actual fucking striker that Xabi Alonso just refused to play him at all. Endrick would have fit perfectly in that match. A player who's willing to run you the 90 minutes. But no, he's at Lyon now. Ridiculous stuff from Madrid in general. It's stupid. But yeah, Vinny should have come out for Mbappe, and the last 15 minutes, last 5 minutes, nothing happened. As I said, it looked like we were winning. No, nothing at all. Absolutely embarrassing stuff. And yeah, it's deplorable those last 5 minutes. I mean, we put in every single player that we could. Arda Güler, which did absolutely nothing. Jude Bellingham, who dropped his level completely, probably because he was tired as well. But that last 5 minutes, I mean, you're supposed to go for everything, and it was embarrassing. First of all, Alvaro Carreras, we needed to get a cross off, and this guy misses the fucking ball, and Rashford puts it out wide. He could have darn scored, and he misses it. But it all came from Alvaro Carreras' inexperience or whatever. And we had another counterattack, put a cross in. The ball somehow ends up in Alvaro Carreras, in Tchouaméni, who for some reason led it for Alvaro Carreras, I guess because he thought he had more time or whatever, better positioned. But these guys, both of these guys, had about 5 seconds or 3 seconds or 2 seconds, which is a lot of time in a fast-paced game like that, to shoot the darn ball into the back of the net. They were completely unmarked, no pressure, and what does Alvaro Carreras do? Literally passes it to Joan Garcia. Deplorable finish. That was absolutely infuriating. I mean, you literally had to just shoot it as hard as you could anywhere but Joan Garcia. He was literally right in front of the fucking goal, and he does that ridiculous thing. And on top of that, you have that last ditch header, everybody into the box, and I think Asensio's the one that heads it. Great positioning. The worst header for a goal that I've seen in my life, man. I mean, once again, they both pass it to Joan Garcia. That is embarrassing, deplorable, disgusting. It's shameful to watch this Real Madrid. I do not recognize this Real Madrid. It used to be Real Madrid, no matter how tired they are, when it comes to those last extra time, 85th, 80th minute, they're going to come at you, and every single shot is going to go to goal, or you're going to get obliterated if you're a defender because they're going to hit you. But no, this is the perfect way to encapsulate the current Real Madrid. We are toothless. We are toothless in the attack. How does having Mbappe and players like Arda Güler, these fucking attackers, make us look even weaker than it was before? It's a toothless Real Madrid. It used to, as I said, it used to be they're gonna come at you, they're gonna score eventually because it looks inevitable, and you know it's every single shot is extremely dangerous. There was no danger in those last 5 minutes. Oh my gosh, those finishes, they are so embarrassing. But I think those 5 minutes, as I said, encapsulate Real Madrid, the state of Real Madrid right now. But anyways, I'm done with the rant about those last 30 minutes. Embarrassing performance by Real Madrid. Now onto the players. I think a lot of the players had pretty darn good games for as I said, the context of everything. Asensio, I think he played a pretty decent game. Tchouaméni as a center back surprisingly played pretty well. Dean Huijsen, he was pretty mediocre once again, but he just came back from an injury, and it just shows we need somebody like Schlotterbeck to come in if we're able to get him this December. Please, Florentino Perez, I hope that we're able to get Schlotterbeck. He would be incredible in this back line. Alvaro Carreras played a really good game against Lamine Yamal. Of course, Lamine Yamal was able to win a couple, but Alvaro Carreras played pretty darn well. Apart from just ignore those last 5 minutes, man. That was embarrassing. Rodrigo defensively played really well, but offensively lackluster. Didn't do much of all. Camavinga played pretty well. Jude Bellingham, First 60 minutes played well. I guess he was tired because he did absolutely nothing in that second half for the rest of that second half. Like literally nothing. I don't know if it was because Arda Güler came in or whatever. Valverde, I think he played a really good game for his standards, right? He played a pretty good game. Uh, Vinicius Jr., I think offensively he was incredible, unstoppable against Kunde. I think you should have subbed him out for Kylian Mbappe, but only for Kylian Mbappe because, as I said, you can't play both of these guys. So yeah, Vinny got the goal, played pretty good defensively. You gotta press more, man. You have to defend more. As I said, you know the state of Real Madrid right now. We cannot afford a player that simply refuses to press. And Gonzalo Garcia, I think he played a good game. You know, nothing crazy. He's a youngster. He got his goal. He got his assist. It's a good game by Gonzalo Garcia. Great, good El Clásico. Now, in terms of Xabi Alonso, as I said, I think we came out with the right idea towards against this Barcelona. We knew the position that we were in, but them changes did absolutely nothing. And to an extent, you can argue Xabi Alonso is responsible for that. I think he's responsible for the like 15 minutes where Mbappe and Vinny were both on the same pitch, where absolutely nothing happened between those two. He is most definitely responsible for that, and of course he's responsible for that whole Endrick situation because you could have literally put him in. And I think he should have put in Mastantuono instead of Arda Güler when he took out Valverde. He would have given you a lot better pressing, a lot more intensity than Arda Güler, and it seems like Arda Güler continues to struggle in those massive games. But yeah, this Supercopa, I wasn't expecting us to win. Of course, Madrid, I want them to win, but I knew it was going to be an extremely tough game. I think for a greater part of the game, we gave Barcelona a good match. We played as well as we could, as I said. But you need signings in this team, man. I mean, putting in Alaba in big 2026. What is wrong with us? But yeah, that's my little rant after the game. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys on the next one.